ladies and gentlemen. It is Adam Drake with BVLive.com. Welcome to the BVLive.com studios, and we have got a brand new podcast for you with Mr. Keller Cox. How you doing, man? I'll give you a little bump over here, man. You too. It's been way too long. I don't like not hanging out with you as much, but you're a busy man.
Yes, sir. Trying to keep it busy.
I love that. Also, of course, we've got Jerrod Lane over there in the far seat. Jerrod, how are you today?
I'm great. How's everybody?
You don't want to wear some cool T-shirt like you've normally got, like a Joe Stan band or something?
I decided to wear the pearl snap today and just change it up a little bit. It's only 105 degrees outside. So
only 105 degrees.
70 in here. That's all I care.
I went with my maroon for a couple of reasons. One, I like my maroon. Second, we do have a guy who went to Texas A&M University. You know a thing or two about what music in Bryan College Station is like. So let's go ahead and jump on into it, man. What was music like for you before you got to Texas A&M, and how did that kind of shape who you have become now as a singer-songwriter?
Yeah, so before I came to A&M, grew up in Houston, Texas, and I don't know if you know much of my story, but I grew up on just country radio. So grew up in Houston. I remember we'd go to church on Sundays listening to like the Christian radio, and then we'd flip it to country, like 100.3. It was KILT back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
92.9. And it was really just like George Strait, Alan Jackson, Toby Keith, Kenny Chesney, Tim McGraw, like the mainstream country. And then when I got to A&M, I found out about Red Dirt Texas country music, and it changed everything for me.
Who was that one?
I got to stop, though. It's like old school country. How old are you?
28.
Well, see, and I stopped
That's
myself.
okay. That's all right.
I stopped myself from saying, "Oh, yeah, you grew up on like Florida Georgia Line and Luke Bryan and Jason Aldean."
But he does have an Alabama shirt on, which I actually appreciate. That's old school.
We can talk about how I've dove in. I've dove into the old stuff.
No, just giving you a hard time.
So
apologize.
who was that guy or girl that you heard singing Texas and Red Dirt music that said, "Oh man, this is my style.
Dude,
this is what I got to go"?
So I was in the Corps of Cadets, which I don't know if you knew that.
I've got that in my notes.
Okay,
I was going to bring it up. I got something for that.
Squadron 17, and I remember being locked up at attention, and one of my upperclassmen walked in. This is 2017, and he said, they don't call you by your first name; they call you Fish. I said, Fish Cox, you got to listen to this band, and it was Flatland Cavalry. And this is 2017. They just released that first album, Humble Folks.
Yep.
And it just blew my mind, dude. I remember just listening to it, going to see him at Harry's, and just being like, who has kept this from me my whole life? I didn't know that country music could get that deep, like that from the heart.
Yeah.
I usually have the beer truck girl kind of mainstream thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I just didn't know you could put your journal to music and sing about it, and it just changed.
Cleto's pretty good about that.
Yeah, Cleto was amazing with that. And I want to talk to Cleto with you about Cleto here in a second, but it was much the same way with me. I didn't grow up with older brothers and sisters. So I didn't have anybody that went to Texas A&M when they were going to college, or Tech or Baylor or Austin. Right. And so I first got into it after I graduated high school. I was working for a radio station in Beaumont, and they're like, "Hey, you're young. You're going to be our Texas Red Dirt guy." I was like, I don't know what the heck that means. And this was 2002. And they hand me a couple of CDs, and or maybe 03, early 03. And it was Kevin Fowler's Beer, Bait, and Ammo and Ragweed's Purple album. And they, again, like that, who was gatekeeping this stuff away from me?
Dude.
Why was I having to listen to Shania Twain and Kenny Chesney? And look, nothing against them. They're great artists in their own rights. But they just didn't speak to me the way that a Ragweed did, a way that a Fowler did.
It's mainstream radio kept it from you.
Mainstream radio kept it from me. But for you, Flatland. And so that's how you got introduced.
Yeah, and then it was a deep dive from there, man.
Yeah.
I mean, ever since I've been on a musical journey, I feel like.
I love that. And especially, you mentioned the Alabama shirt that he's got on. So you dove into the old stuff, too. So more than just what was on the radio at the time.
And then I've kind of been even recently getting away from country and even old, like, rock and roll. I've been on, like, a Bob Dylan kick recently.
Oh, yeah.
Bruce Springsteen, Tom Petty. And, like, again, didn't grow up. Like, we literally just had country radio. And nothing against my parents, but I feel like I'm finally having, like, my musical childhood, but in my 20s, of just diving into all these different genres, and it's been sick, dude.
I feel the same. I'm just 50 though and doing it. So
yeah, I mean,
my wife
you
introduced
didn't get
me back
into it until
2020, 2019, 2020. We went to Steamboat, and I saw American Aquarium for the first time, and I was like, who are these guys, and what is going on, and why is 800 people in this room know every bit of your song?
Well, dude,
he breaks
exactly, and I was just like,
this is. You have to be so intentional about, like, if you truly want to, like, dive into a new artist, it's like, you could rely on a DSP's curated playlist and never go dive into the artist.
Yeah.
I feel like back in the day when everything was long form, like, okay, I'm going to go, I just heard about, let's say it's, those guys that you're talking about, like, let me go buy their record and listen to it all the way through. But now it's like, let me go on Spotify, and then it might jump to another artist, right?
Right.
And so if you truly want to dive in, you kind of have to act like it's physical copies,
And I find myself doing that too. And I'll pull every Friday, I'll go and like, all right, what's the new songs? What's out right now? And I'll go through and listen to them. But then when I have more time on a Saturday or a Sunday, I'm doing some work. I am just, or not even doing work. I don't want to do anything. I just want to have headphones on and listen
all the way through. Yeah.
And you got to listen 1 to 10, 1 to 15, however long it is, because that's how you really hear what it is.
100%.
You're not listening for the single. You're not listening for this, because those album cuts. And I think that's what really made Texas music, red dirt music, as good as it is, because those songs weren't played on the radio like everything else. And you will find people who never release something as a single that sing every single word to to the album. And I absolutely love that. So another artist that I would tell you, you were mentioning all those old ones. I got into a Bob Seger kick recently. I grew up on Seger. No. I mean, I grew up on it, but I was like, man, you know what I really want to listen to? I want to listen to Seger. So like every day I'm just putting on a little bit more.
And not the same 5 ones. That
no, not the same 5 ones, because you got again, such a deep catalog. And I'm like, I want to do that. So throw some Seger on there for me on your next road trip.
So, I mean, you bring up Flatland's kind of a big, band that you've been following and you've worked with as well, correct?
Yes.
And then I'm thinking, is there anybody else that really triggered it while you were going to school here as well?
I'm trying to think, dude. They were really like the main inspiration. But then again, I mean, Parker McCollum was just coming up. I mean,
he meteoric rise right then.
Coetzel was like, that was that whole generation of artists was my college career here. So definitely they influenced it. And then obviously Robert Earl King got sprinkled in once I went down different rabbit holes. Willie Nelson. But yeah, they were the main ones for sure.
Okay.
And then you got to do a song with Cleto. Like that was one of the things that when I saw that pop up on my Spotify, I was like, ooh, I really like this. Tell us about how that manifested.
Yeah, so really it all started at Harry's, and I'll tell the shortest version of the long-winded version, but there were those summer concert series that happened at Harry's, and so I'd just been elected a Yell leader. This is 2019, I think, summer. Got to meet Cleto briefly backstage, and didn't really it was more of just a handshake, met him, see you down the road kind of thing. But we got to talk about music and inspiration. I got to play him a little bit of a song, and he told me, hey, keep writing kind of thing. And that kind of started our friendship. Fast forward, met their media guy at Chili Fest, connected with them, and then 2021 they were coming through town post-COVID to play 3 limited capacity shows at Harry's.
Oh yeah.
And so their media guy was like, hey, come hang out with us. Come meet the band. I'd already met Cleto briefly once. Huge fan at this point. But I knew enough about music to not just be the roadie, because I knew that would get you the beer and the picture and then maybe on your way kind of thing. Yeah. And I respected these guys. I wanted to be able to add something to the weekend and not take, Yeah. And so, man, I just was like, man, can I work for you guys? Can I help y'all in any way? And they needed a merch guy. Nice. So I sold merch for them 3 nights in a row, 7 p.m., doors to close at 1. And every night they're inviting me on their bus. Welcome to the family. I'm the head Yell leader at that point. So my ID swipes me into Kyle Field. Yeah. So we create this friendship. They welcome me into their family. I gave them a tour of Kyle Field, and then their managers were in town. And so that weekend, their managers, one of them was like, hey, I want to help manage you after school. So that was really the start of the relationship, to where when I wrote that song, Damn Good Friends, this is a year later, I had the friendship with Cleto built from that weekend, and just called him, man. And I was like, hey, would you feature on this song? And he was like, Keller, I'll tell you the same thing that Will Green told me. You know that song, Coyote?
Oh, yeah.
He's like, I'll tell you the same thing. When we asked him to feature, he said, if my voice can add to the song, I'll do it. And so Cleto listened to it, and if you think I'm busy, Cleto is oh man, one of those busy people I know. But he got back to me, and he's like, let's do it. And I got to stand across from him in a studio, the one where they tracked Humble Folks up in Lubbock, Texas, and tracked that song, dude. It was such a full circle moment for me. But that's kind of the short version of just got to meet him organically, and then got to help him out a little bit, and then now those guys are like, Cleto and I had dinner a couple weeks back, dude, up in Nashville.
But I appreciate that, though. Because we always talk about it, and I do it all the time, whether it's over at the Palace or something, there's an artist here, it's like, I'll go grab whatever gear and like, hey, do we need to go move this? I mean, I will be the roadie guy, and I'm just bystander but I'm gonna if I have to talk to somebody. So
yeah, well,
kudos to you to get out there and go and hustle. I mean, that's
it's
part of
the way
it.
I look to my parents, the way I was raised, and I think too it's the scene. Like, man, and I've learned in the Texas country music scene, it's such a close, tight knit community.
We've talked about this a lot of times where it's a familial, man. And
dude, you could sneeze in College Station, they'll say bless you and love it.
Yeah,
like
right.
The same moment. It's like, you have these people, they're touring, they're covering so many miles at night. So like, let's say I open up for someone and leave a bad impression. Well, then I'm not with them the next night, but then they're already with someone. Like, they're already 2 towns over. And so your name can travel like that, dude. So I think it's just part of the scene of everyone wants to, if you have the right head on your shoulders, like, man, help each other out, look out for the guy coming up, look out for the person in front of you, all that kind of stuff. And
I think that's what our scene has done really well. And also, to your credit, too, about not just being that, no, I want to be the singer. I'm too good for this. You got out there. You're a yell leader, man. Like, you're one of the head yell leaders out there. You don't have to go and roadie for anyone. You don't have to go and
it takes a lot of responsibility.
It takes responsibility. It takes a lot of humility to say, no, I'll sell your merch, man. I'll do that because you want to be involved.
Yeah.
And being involved and finding that community and making yourself a part of that community is how Texas music in general works. And I think especially here, that's what we're really trying to do, is to get people connected, to get people together and saying, whether it's your genre or not, whether it's your bag or not, you've got to help everybody else somehow, some way, or else the local scene's not going to grow. I want to hit on that again here in a second, but I do want to ask you too about the yell leader stuff.
Yeah.
Because you were able to help that connection with Flatland, with Cleto and them, because you're like, hey, I've got this ID badge. Let's go check out Kyle Field. And the Aggie Network is huge. Everybody knows that the Aggie Network is one of the biggest out there.
Yes, sir.
What other opportunities has that allowed you to have in the world of music?
Yeah, it's a great. I don't know if I've ever only in Bryan College Station, did you be asked that question? In the world of music, man. I mean, to be honest, Adam, like honestly, post A&M, like maybe that was the one thing, but it's kind of something. Not that I'm not proud of it, but it was almost like, man, that badge or whatever you call it, being a yell leader, like outside of A&M, it kind of only gets you like there. You know what I'm saying? You do have the Aggie Network. I'm sure I've had connections with people, like, hey, come play a backyard party or whatever, but it's almost been a blank, like, take the uniform off and it's a blank page as far as like making connections goes and going up to Nashville. There's, that being a yell leader kind of isn't, you don't lead with that in Nashville, Tennessee, So it's been sick as far as College Station goes, being back. Things like tonight will be fun, but past college, dude, it was kind of like almost like a shell shock, because you have all these people at your, you could call whatever. Hey, I need to get this done. I'm serving as a yell leader, yada, yada. But as far as the music scene goes, man, I think that was pretty much the one thing.
Yeah.
Was during college.
I mean, my 2 cents on that, though, on the outside of it, though, is, I mean, most people don't understand what the yell leaders are, outside of this circle.
Outside of our...
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, give you a hard time for, the boy cheerleaders and all that. And, you hear that all the time. I married the Aggie. She's sitting behind the desk right now doing a production. And so I learned all this. And was there 5 of y'all? Like,
5.
That's it. Out of the whole school. I mean, it's a full-time job. You guys are constantly at events and doing this much more than like a standard cheerleader group that would be at any other school. It is as grueling as any kind of full-time athlete.
100%. And I will say,
couldn't imagine what your schedules were.
I would say it's a blank slate as far as connections go, but behind the scenes, dude, like being a yell leader, like changed everything. Like as far as how I run my business, the leadership skills I learned from it. So I take like all of that stuff, dude, that has set me apart as far as a musician goes.
Yeah.
But connections wise, I wouldn't say it like translates, but as far as like, dude, I hop in a van with 4 other guys and go play shows, and I'm in charge of making sure they have everything they need.
You're just running a
taken
tight
care of.
ship.
Now I'm paying them.
Well,
And
that's from one of the first times I met you and had you booked at the Dixie Chicken, I could tell that's how you were, because you and Stelly came and played was it a graduation night or something?
It was some, like by the Rattlesnake.
Yeah, y'all were back there, and it was an amazing night. 21. I want to say. I don't know. That's all these years kind of blend together since then. But y'all did such an amazing job, and you specifically, because again, you were on the ball. You were like, all right, load in as this. What time am I supposed to be there, Adam? Okay, cool. I'll be there at this time. And Stelly is the classic artist. Stelly, I love you, so don't take this the wrong way. But he was a little more laissez-faire about the thing, right? And you were like, "All right, let's get this going." And I think you did learn that from being a yell leader.
Yeah,
I think
so
you did learn that again
to
from
answer
your
question
parents.
Long and short, I don't know if connections translates, but as far as like how I run my business and how I operate as a leader, dude, it definitely set me apart. Even like with meeting fans.
Yeah,
Like we were taught as yell leaders, like every interaction you have with a fan, you need to treat it like it's your first and last interaction, like their first and last interaction with A&M.
Yep.
So some random person comes up on the street and I have a bad day. Well, I can't have a bad day.
Yeah.
Like that was our thing. You don't have a bad day. You just bombed a test. You got broken up with by your girlfriend. Like you're wearing a smile because that person, they might be from out of town and they're visiting campus, and then they're like, "Oh, that's the yell leader." Well, dude, now let's say I have a short interaction with them or something. Like they're gonna be like, "Man, that was kind of weird," you know. And same thing with my business with music. Like people want, "Hey, can we get a picture? Can we, whatever." Like those are your fans, dude. Those are the people that keep your lights on, and so that translates so much. You know?
And I'll give it to the Texas Red Dirt scene too, a lot more than other scenes. Only because I haven't been around a lot of scenes. I've been around this for 20 years. Is that so many of our Texas Red Dirt guys are the same way. You'll catch some in a bad day every now and again, and you'll have an experience. But for the most part, they all love to be part of the community.
Dude,
they love to be for their fans.
You don't have a career. You know what I'm saying?
You just don't have it.
Like,
yeah.
So that's why I love American Aquariums. I mean, BJ is probably the best at it. Like here at the Palace, I don't know how hot it was that night, but he stays and he signs and he does everything until the very last person leaves. He's the last person that walks out of there before the merch guy's gone, before he's even gone.
Yeah,
they're like, "Hey, are you done buying what you're going to buy? All right, you can go pack up." And then he's still talking to fans. And I'm like,
that's what it's about, dude.
it's crazy.
I want to talk about your
Been doing
songwriting
25 years.
A little bit now too, because one of the things that's always struck me about your music is you almost write older than you are, if that makes sense. You write about how
That's why
life
I asked
was.
how old he was. I was like,
you write about how life was even before you were born, and where does that come from? Is that kind of that old school feel that your parents kind of raised you on, or because again, you feel like an old soul listening to your music?
Man,
and I love
honestly, I couldn't tell you. I think it comes from just, when I was
got
first
Grandpa's
writing,
Bass Pro Shop hat on.
exactly,
and he's like,
exactly, dude. I carry myself like a 70-year-old man. The road is beating me down, dude. I'm just the old soul.
Still a baby face though.
Yeah,
You know?
I think it just comes from, when I was first learning to write, someone told me, it was Cleto actually, he said, if you don't have anything to say, don't say it. And so I've always approached the page that way, as far as like, man, if I am moved, and my best songs come from moments of like, man, I don't know how to process this, let me put it on paper. That's where the magic happens, in my opinion. There are other good songs that happen at other times, but I think it just comes from, man, let me write to the moment. I guess I do see the world as an older soul, or, I think it's just part of just me as my personality.
have you always written? Have you written before you came to school?
Dude, yeah, so I never wrote songs, but I've journaled since the 8th grade. So
Yeah.
I've always put pen to paper in some ways. Maybe it comes from that too. I had a jump start on introspection, or how you say the word.
It's interesting. Jamie Lynn Wilson was here last year for the Bryan Songwriters Festival, so coming up almost a year ago.
Yeah.
And, she sat here in the Parker Aston and just kind of hung out, and I started asking her, and I was like, "Well, you're over here writing?" And she's like, "Yeah, I just journal every day." And I'm going, "Well, do you co-write?" Because she's really close friends with Courtney Patton. And I'm like, she's like, "God, no, we'd never get anything done," which was funny. But at the same time, she's like, "I don't really do a whole lot of co-writes." And I'm like, I thought that was really interesting. She goes, "Honestly, it just comes from me doing journaling. It's like, and eventually something just clicks, and it's like I pull this into that." And I was like, it was kind of an interesting take for me, because I didn't know. I don't write on anything. I barely put notes down. As my wife will attest. She's like,
Do you find yourself doing the same thing? Do you like writing by yourself? Do you like getting in and having a collaborative moment?
Man, I've been doing a bunch of co-writing recently, like a bunch. I go up to Nashville once a month, and I'm actually we're moving out there in October.
All right, good. I'm glad you brought that up, because I heard a rumor that might be happening, but I didn't want to bring it up.
There. My wife and I are moving up there, and I'm just tired of. I'm an A-list preferred Southwest member, and tired of flying to work every month, and so yeah, dude, I've been chasing the co-writing thing, but recently I've been writing a lot by myself, and I've noticed like as far as co-writing goes, like I like being the writer in the room right now. That's just the season I'm in. I like adding to whatever someone else is doing. And every once in a while it'll turn your way, meaning like when I say the writer, like you would be the artist. So if we were writing a song right now, it's like, okay, we're writing for Adam's project. and we're just going to help him with whatever idea he brings in. I feel like I'm gravitating towards that right now, but sometimes it'll flip to me.
Yeah.
A lot of people want, they know you're doing an artist thing, so they want you to be the artist in the room that day. But recently I've been writing a lot by myself because I'm working on a project, and I've just found a lot of inspiration recently of just putting pen to paper. A buddy of mine and I we're doing like this songwriting challenge with each other, and then Case and Hutton.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So he started the songwriters group literally like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and you have to submit a song every 2 weeks. And so I've found a lot of inspiration by myself in those moments. But honestly, I've been co-writing a bunch too.
Anybody you want to throw out there that you might have something cool going with? Or
so I don't know if you saw. So William Clark Green and I co-wrote a song on his new record. It's called Cowtown, and that was super cool.
Yeah.
But like that, I knew I was walking in the room that day, writing for Will, and super pumped that he would give me the chance. Like he invited me out to Billy Bob's. We wrote. In the
Did he release
room.
that already?
yeah.
What's that?
Yeah,
That's been out, right?
Yeah, it's out on Waterston Hall, that new record. And dude, I remember listening to like Creek Don't Rise, talking about country artists when I was in school. I remember hearing that on George Bush Avenue for the first time, dude.
Yeah.
And speeding way too fast, listening to this fast-tempoed Texas country song. But like that was a cool one. And then I've had a lot of cool connections up in Nashville, just people that are like dudes have written #1 songs that I've gotten to sit in the room with and learn from, and it's just a whole different ball game, and it teaches you how to communicate with people, how to not hurt feelings, but also at the end of the day, like, man, I'll tell people, like, I'll fight you, like, in the room for the song. Like no, feelings aside, pride aside, ego aside, like, you put the song in the middle of the room, and whatever is best for the song, you've got to fight for it,
Yeah.
And learn how to be a good listener to other people, but I love co-writing, dude. It's one of my favorites.
And I love that you bring up Will, though. I mean, we just to put our twist on the Brazos Valley side of it. He's got roots here. He went to
College
here.
Station.
I ain't
He went to
raising
Consol.
no Aggie,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He's not a big fan of the A&M thing, but
But he still has a love for this area because he knows how much it meant to him to come up here, whether he likes Texas A&M or not.
yeah.
But he still has a respect for what this area has been and really could be, and to me, should be again for the music scene here. I do want to bring up one song because I listen to it probably every Sunday morning. I have "Good Again, Amen." That is on my playlist for Sunday mornings heading to church. I'm like, kids, y'all shut up in the back. We're listening to it because I love how that is. And it's not a religious song particularly, but it's talking about kind of like what we talked about with how things used to be. Talk a little bit about "Good Again, Amen" and where that came from for you.
Dude,
And this is purely just selfish because I just love the song.
This is my 5th year, and I was scrolling too much on social media, I think, and I felt like the way I saw the world was all the bad guys were winning. And I remember like growing up where all the good guys always won, and like the whatever movie it was, whether it was Star Wars or Indiana Jones or John Wayne, old school country films, like the good guy always wins. And I think the brutal truth is that doesn't always feel that way, and it's not always the truth in the world. And so I kind of wrote from that perspective of like looking at it from my childhood, how I was raised. My parents, that first line, I think it's "Yes, sir, no, ma'am. Look me in the eye when you're shaking hands." Like that was the way my dad raised my brothers and I. I'm one of 3 boys, and I think that was one of my first co-writes. Speaking of co-writes, in Nashville, I just started going up there and wrote with a guy named Cam Newby and then Andrew Beeson, who both have big publishing deals, big things coming this year that I can't really speak on for them, but they're great writers. And they just took a chance on me, and we stewarded this song, and it turned into this, like, I feel like I always introduce that song, like, man, if you don't know who I am, like, that's a pretty good way of knowing who I am by that song.
And that's kind of how I took it too. I'm listening to it, I'm like, yeah, this is speaking of an older generation, but again, how I've always felt like you were this old soul. I'm like, yeah, that's who Keller is, and I really love that song.
Thanks,
so I
dude.
just want to give it to you.
It's a great song, and that record was so informative for me too, as far as like working on that was my second full length record. It was first time out of college, and I'm so excited for you to hear what I've been cooking up recently. But
well, tell us a little bit about that because I'm excited because I've seen a bunch of pictures of you lately with a mustache on social media. You walked in today. I was like, whoa, where's this cool stash at?
Yeah,
and you're like,
I've
I've got stuff coming up that I think you're going to like, which just means no stash. I was like, all right, cool.
So I have a song coming out next month. I can't tell you who's featuring on it quite yet, but I'm super stoked about it, dude. This will be one of the biggest features I've ever had on a single. And it comes out
Can't
middle
even
of
hint?
August. Maybe. When is this going to release?
I'm going to try to get it out like Tuesday.
Okay.
So I mean,
not this Tuesday.
like this Tuesday, like 2 days from now.
Just be looking out for it. Follow me, social media, Keller Cox. You'll be the first to know about it. But got the song coming out, man. That's honestly, you know, for me, I'll tell you a little bit about the song. I watched two of my friends go through a divorce, and again, back to that thing of if you don't have anything to say, don't say it. I've always approached my writing like that, and I've been happily married 4 years. A lot of my songs, you know, when I started writing, were maybe working through like breakups and whatever, like Sticks and Stones and that kind of thing. And then, you know, my wife is my muse, dude. It's like all like love songs. But then I've pushed myself recently with, man, I felt like I could say something because I watched the situation happen and it just broke my heart. And so I wrote this song about it. And for me, it's one of the most like vulnerable songs that I've ever put out. And it's not even about me, you know, but it's again, I think that the beautiful thing about music is it puts to words things that you didn't have the words for, right?
Yeah.
And I knew it was a feature, and so it's the first like female feature I've ever had on a song.
Ooh, all right. There's the hint. It's a female.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. I've got a few things narrowed down.
It's gonna blow you all away.
As soon as I hit stop on this, I'm going to ask you more questions that are for you know
behind the scenes. But
no, I love that, and that's what music is for me too. Because I can't write, I can't play anything.
You wrote.
So I mean, I've written a song, you know,
Your chicken
maybe
song.
a poem or something. But one of the things that I really love about music, and have always loved, is how much it speaks to me. How much Radney Foster can write something that is so deeply personal to me, and I'm like, somebody else feels this way. Oh man, I love that, and I think you do a great job, and I can't wait to hear that next iteration of what that is from you.
And this new album too, I've been pushing myself. Like I said, I've been listening to all this other type of music, and so I've just been trying to. I think the title track is going to be called The New Sound, and the goal is for it to capture a lot of different sounds and a lot of different, like what I've been listening to.
Yeah.
And so it's been a weird project for me because it's not like find the best 10 songs and put them out. It's like find the best 10 different sounding songs.
Ooh, I kind of like that.
This would be like a more neo-traditional, like you could hear it maybe on like Sirius XM. It's still got the Texas country heartfelt roots to it, but I'm pretty stoked.
Where'd you do these recordings at?
In Austin, Texas, with a guy named Dwight Baker.
Okay.
He did a lot of Josh Abbott stuff, a lot of Flatland stuff recently, and he just crushed it, dude. So,
I'm really kind of excited to hear you maybe do like a Tom Petty sound.
dude,
that would be a lot of
some
fun.
songs, dude. Listening to Wildflowers for the first time.
Oh yeah.
And like being like, dude, like literally, like I listened to it for the first time this year, all the way through, and I was like blown. Like gets to like Honeybee, and I'm like, bro, what am I listening to?
Yeah. That happens so much, especially when you dive back into that older generation. You're just like, man, this has been here for the last 40 years, and I didn't know about it, and I'm just now finding that.
It's kind of like the Seeger, and then go into Dylan. You can go do a deep dive on Dylan, but.
Well, dude, it's crazy because I studied construction science, and so when I decided to be a full-time musician, I was like, to myself, I said, I need to be like a student of this. I call it being like a student of music.
Yeah.
And that's like how I've been approaching it. When I find out about an artist, let me study them. Let me see what influences them, because maybe I can pick up something from that, you know?
I mean, that's actually intriguing. I mean, it's intriguing to me because of like this A&M network that we have, and it's like no one really comes to A&M to go do music. I mean,
yeah, but then you find it that that's the Brad.
But there's so many that have been a part of it. You know,
because we had Jason Evard last week, and
Jason Evard and Lindsay Torres, say hello, by the way.
Dude, great dudes. Yeah.
And so Lindsay's an engineer at A&M
he's
right
like
now.
a biochemist something, or like
and then
super smart
Jason's
stuff that I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Degree, and has a master. And you find these guys in the West Barlow, and all these guys are all around here, and you're like,
I played with both those dudes.
Yeah.
You did not come here to go and do music, but I mean, that's what you end up doing around here. Just the lineages that comes through here. It's just really intriguing to me that it comes out. Then you find out, you go to Nashville and you go work with a bunch of people from Belmont that are just musically inclined. It's like,
right.
What's the difference?
Well, dude, I think it's legacy, bro. I mean, you look back, right? Like Robert Keane, and it's front porch picking. It's, in my day, and we were talking about this on the phone the other day, for me, it was Southerns, the bar, at the mall. Like that was open mic night.
That was there for 3 years or so,
I got the bug, and I was like, where do I play this music at? And I wasn't going to go book a show at the Tap or Harry's.
Yeah.
Now Harry's is gone, or it's back.
Well, it's
Harry's on Northgate.
It's different.
But the Harry's I knew, right, is gone. And so for me, I was like, well, I've got these songs. I'm gonna go play. And that's how I met, dude. I met Dalton Domino there. I met a bunch of different people met Corliss out at Southerns, like, and she mentored me as far as explaining the music scene. But that's, again, it's legacy, dude. It's like people are gonna write songs, and it's too beautiful to not write songs here in College Station.
Yeah.
And I think, that's the beauty of the scene, is like there's places to get your music out. And people come ask me like, how did you get where you are? And I don't even think of myself as that far along, but I just tried to find a mic, dude, to share my story,
Well, you're part of the generation of why we kind of started this, because you're in that same generation of like Stelly, Parker Ryan, Jordan Nix,
Juliana Rankin,
dude.
So all those
Jordan
guys
and
are
I
all.
have been writing a bunch, and I've wrote with Stelly too, but Jordan and I have been writing a bunch together.
Then Jordan's probably becoming one of the most, sought after Texas guys because
Songwriter-wise.
Yeah, songwriter. And you meet the guy, he's the nicest guy in the world, a big teddy bear. I mean, that's why he's got those on his shirts. But it's, you see that, but we missed that as a, community here and lifting y'all up. And that's kind of
awesome.
what
I can't thank y'all enough. I think it's needed, to pass it on too.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
'Cause where do the kids go that are picking up their guitar and writing songs right now?
Well, that's the question I was going to ask you. If you could tell these 18, 19-year-old kids who are here, or hell, even somebody who's been here for a long time, and there's like, oh, where's the music scene here? What am I doing? What would you advise any of those people to do today?
You'd find the nearest bar and see if they'll let you play your songs.
Yeah.
For me, it was the New Republic Brewery, which is not a thing anymore, but it was over, I couldn't even tell you, I think it was over south of town maybe.
Juliana
Yeah.
Rankin said the same
but
thing.
Yeah, Juliana Rankin said the same thing.
dude,
She
I
loved playing there.
That was her
told
first
people
spot.
I booked my first gig there, and it was an open mic. I didn't even have to book it. They're just, hey, we have an open mic.
Yeah.
Here's the
And-
microphone.
Yeah, dude, that was, find a place and go do it. And I think I have done that, and I'm, it's not for the faint of heart, chasing a dream, but I have done that from day one. Like, let me just find the next place to play, and you go from, dude, I got a $5 bill in a tip jar at the New Republic Brewery. It's in a drawer somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, I should have probably invested at this point, but it's just sitting there at my house.
You don't want to take it straight up to the bar like, hey, I got this.
Yeah, no, I
Thanks
got
so
five-
much.
No, because I was like, man, I'm going to remember this, because then on nights where you're the main, like tonight, I get to play over at Lake Walk, and they booked me to play with my band. And sometimes you're so with your head down, I call it kicking the can, that you forget to look up and see how far you've come. But like, dude, I'm getting paid a little more than $5 tonight. You know? And that, like, for me, it's like, man, that's success. And all it's come from is putting one foot in front of the other and finding the next place to play, And so I would just tell them, dude, just book whatever you can, dude, and write with people. Write until you can't write anymore,
If you could do something for everybody here, if you could let them know how to find your group too, that would be impressive too, because how do you find your people in a town like this?
I think, and if there's no open mic events, create one, right? But that's how you find your, like, if you go to open mic night, whatever it is, or a show, and you hang out to the end and you look left and right, you're going to find your people. It's the people that love it, right? Like the people that are going to the music night events. Or I know Harry's, they did something with Randy Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
And who is it the other night? They did something on Harry's the other night.
Ashton Naylor.
Yes, Ashton Naylor. Like, man, if I was around, I would be there, because I want to meet those guys, right? And I feel like you're gonna see, when you're going out, you're gonna see the people that are hanging out to the end, trying to meet them. They're gonna be the ones writing the songs.
While you were here and kind of kicking this off, did you do it pretty late in your college career, or did you
This
start
is junior and senior year?
Okay,
Yeah.
so who was in those couple of years you were here? Who were some of your people that you kind of connected to that are
Randy
still doing
Hoyt.
it? Yep.
You know him? I love that dude.
We have Randy play with us quite a
Randy's
bit.
amazing.
Randy, dude, we connected really early on. I'm trying to remember, man. Adam Hill was here still
with Josh Abbott now.
With Josh Abbott, we would play together. Sean McCarg with the Ransom Brothers was here.
Okay.
Do you know the Ransom Brothers out of Austin?
I do.
Sean
I
was
don't
in the
know
Chorus
them.
Cadets.
Know them.
Y'all should reach out to Sean, dude. He's an awesome songwriter. But he was here, so there was all these people still just doing it. You know what I'm saying? But again, I met them because of the Southerns and the being out at the bars.
Well, and that's the thing. We don't know everybody, and that's why we always do kind of a call out to, it's like, who are some of these? 'Cause I'm 50 years old. I mean, I have a kid that's older than you, and he wasn't in it. He was a baseball kid. I was a baseball player, and so this is all new to me. But trying to find those people out here to go find the next songwriters around here. And we got some young ones that are around here that have come around. That Hannah Kay just did a cover of Alice in Chains, which I still have not listened to. I want to listen
Really
to.
good,
It. Like,
man. She did a great job.
You found, you get a 20-year-old kid doing Alice in Chains. I was like, and a female at that. And I was like, all right, that's pretty ballsy. And I was
Yeah.
like, which I appreciate. And because they're one of my favorites from my high school days. But
Right.
He's got a walker waiting outside for him.
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
what I'm
we're
waiting
getting
on.
at. All right, we're going to wrap up. I know you got to get over to sound check. You got to get stuff going on, but I do want to ask you a couple of rapid fire
Yeah,
questions
come
to
on,
get ready
let's do
for.
it, dude.
All right,
It's been so fun, by the way. Thanks for having me. This
yeah,
is
man.
awesome.
Of course. Again, when we started this thing and talked about doing a podcast, you were one of the guys that I wanted to bring in specifically because you've been here and I've known you. Like, dude, again, I called you for the 50th birthday of the Dixie Chicken. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, rewind. We will do the rapid fire in a second.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Yeah, I want to talk about that because that was like my last day working at the Dixie Chicken. I'd moved on and done something else, and I love the Dixie Chicken. And if those girls called me tomorrow and said, "Help me bury a body," like I would be there. That's how much I love them and love the place. What did it mean to you to get that phone call?
Everything, dude.
Yeah,
To get to play the Dixie Chicken for the 50th anniversary, like, again, there's moments where you have to remind yourself it's so easy as an artist, especially with, there's no guarantee in this industry, right? Other than you getting to write your songs and put them out. There's no guarantee of success or anything. And so for a moment of like, man, where I came from, a place that I respect, College Station, to get asked to play like, the place on Northgate, the place that shaped so many memories. And it was such an honor, dude. And the same weekend, George Strait was playing Kyle Field. It was so cool, dude.
did you fangirl scream?
So full circle, huh?
You didn't fangirl scream, did you? When you got off the phone?
I did. Yeah, I did.
Very top, dude.
So, what was it? Was it you or was it Hayden who was nervous to meet Max, or maybe it was both of y'all? I don't remember. But y'all
Maybe it's Hayden. I don't know. I mean, I'd heard so many things about Max. Obviously, you grow up hearing the songs and all that stuff, but you seem like just again normal dude, right? It's like
He's the nicest guy in the world.
I think
I love
something
Max
that
Stalling.
I learned pretty early on about the music industry, especially like meeting someone like Cleto. It's like you think they're these like mythical like creatures that
They're just humans.
like just speak songs everywhere, which they are and they do, but like they're just normal people. And I think that's the cool thing about the scene that not a lot of the fans know is like, man, they're just dudes.
Yeah.
That had a story and wrote songs, But yeah, dude, that night was incredible, man.
I love that. We were so honored to have you, and you were amazing. And I just remember sitting there looking and wanting to soak it all in for myself, but also for everybody else too, because again, I know the Dixie Chicken has meant to me, and I've heard the stories from you and from Hayden and from Max and Craig. Like everybody has Dixie Chicken stories. So that might be round number 2. Next time you come through town, we'll just swap Dixie Chicken stories,
Yeah, well, it's crazy,
and
dude,
we can do
Max,
that.
like I remember playing the 30th anniversary. He's like, that's what you do on the 70th. I was like, bro, don't even get me started, dude.
man.
That's insane.
That is a mind trip.
Yeah.
So wait, how old will you be in what? I don't know. I don't math.
58 No.
Yeah.
In 20 years?
20 years.
48?
Oh,
dude.
yeah. You'd be younger than I am now.
That'll be so much fun.
That'd be crazy, dude.
We'll make it happen. I'll try to still make that happen. All right, let's go to rapid fire. You have been touring all around the state of Texas. Let's take out our local places for a moment. Let's not say Harry's. Let's not say the Tap. What's one of your favorite places to go play right now?
Flores Country Store, dude.
Flores, yeah.
I think they have the best, most like historic green room. It's such a vibe. I love Flores Country Store.
It's one place I still have not gotten to go.
Yeah.
We talk about it all the time.
Dude, you gotta go.
We need to go, and
It's so cool. It's like being at like a green hall kind of thing. Just
Yeah.
that historic. That's just the vibe. You get some tamales, some wings. It's just good. It's just good vibes, dude. I love Flores Country Store.
Jessica, you ready to road trip? Are you driving or who's
she's
driving?
always
And
driving.
I would go when it's an outdoor, kind of maybe a fall concert, dude, or something.
Yeah, no, let's not do now.
we just did Green with them Dirty Roses. I wasn't gonna miss those
But yeah,
guys.
dude, that's hands down one of my favorite places to play.
You're on the road. Yeah, you're getting ready to get something to eat. You going chicken fried steak or you going barbecue?
Probably barbecue.
Yeah.
I've learned to not eat so heavy. Especially being a singer, dude.
This guy's got like 4% body fat over here. He's
Well,
like
I know,
heavy.
but
Like,
singing with a full stomach of chicken fried steak, especially on a night like tonight, dude, where it's gonna be so hot out there at Lake
yeah.
Walk.
You're
If I were to
gonna-
have chicken fried steak, I would be sweating gravy, dude, So
you're just hoping
definitely
you just hope that there's a breeze.
Oh God, yeah.
Because we had one of our very first event. We had a songwriters round out there. What do we have? 5? 4?
Yeah.
Dub, Django, Lucas,
Molly,
Molly, and Charlie.
Yeah.
McCabe.
Charlie McCabe.
Another Aggie that was
Charlie's
about-
awesome. Molly McDonald.
Yeah, Molly
Great
McDonald.
dude.
She's amazing.
We've written together before. I know all those dudes. So cool.
All right, venue that you've not headlined yet that you're just waiting for somebody to call you.
Gosh, dude. It's a good question. I mean, dude, I think
It's not the Ryman.
Green Hall comes to mind. Like
Okay.
that would be. I would love.
I thought you've already done that.
I played it like a songwriter thing on like a Monday, but a Saturday night at Green Hall would be like, that's where I grew up. That was my Disney World.
Yeah.
Was Green Hall or New Braunfels, the Comal River. I think that would be sick. And it's not yet that jump to being the opener to the headliner is such. You've got to have that song. And I think it's still coming for me, but that would be a dream for sure. And then the Grand Ole Opry is always on my heart and mind, dude.
Yeah.
Especially after spending so much time in Nashville. I want that call to come, but it's going to come at the right time, and that'd be so.
You want
special.
the Opry, not the Ryman.
I mean, dude, for me, I think both are incredible, but I think the Opry, you know the story about the
With the
circle.
whole-
Yeah, saying the circle is a little bit different.
That would just be everything, you know.
All right, wrap it up with this. Favorite post-show meal? What are you hitting up after the show?
Oh gosh, dude. I mean, in Texas, it's Whataburger. Like it's just there's no question. If you're near it, you got to go. So
He knows how to answer questions.
Yeah,
That's why I
Are you a
love this
Bucky's
guy.
guy?
yeah, I mean, definitely a Bucky's guy, but like as far as
Another
like,
Aggie.
I would. I'd take Whataburger at 1:00 in the morning. I'm eating Whataburger at Bucky's. You know.
Yeah. Are you going the honey butter chicken biscuit or are you doing the taquito?
Straight up Bob's.
Straight up hub chub, dude.
Yeah.
Honey butter chicken biscuit all day long.
Absolutely love it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Keller Cox. You can find him online. We're going to get you. What's your socials? What's your
Keller
website?
Cox, on social media, and check out the music, dude. Working on a new record, new song coming out in August. Announcing very soon. We'll have to talk about it as soon as we.
Click this off.
I'm ready for Jessica to hit that red button over there. But ladies and gentlemen, again, Keller Cox, thank y'all so much for hanging out with us and checking out the BVLive.com podcast. We've got all these concerts that are coming around. Like Keller Cox is going to be playing tonight. By the time you watch this, he will already have played, so don't worry about that. But check out the rest of the concerts that we have online at BVLive.com. And if we don't know about your concert, we'd love to put it on there. All you got to do is go to BVLive.com/events, and we've got a spot right there for you. You can click and say, hey, here's my concert. Here's how much it costs. Here's where we're going to be. Here's the description that we've got. Here's a cool flyer that we've got for you. All online at BVLive.com. And also, if you're an artist in the Brazos Valley, we would love to feature you. We've got an artist directory right there. People are calling us all the time like, hey, who's an artist we can get for this? I would really love somebody for this event that we've got going on. And well, a lot of times we send them to the artist directory. So go to BVLive.com/artists, and it's all right there. And if you're one of those cool people who says, we have some extra money and we would love to sponsor a nonprofit like at BVLive.com, which is also the Brazos Valley Live Music Association, I can put your name right here. I can put your logo right here, and I will give you all the shout outs. You can also just hit us up at, say it with me, BVLive.com.
We love those people that want to donate.
We love those people who would like to donate. And of course, it all goes to a great cause, and it all goes to helping our local artists, helping our artists who are touring through town. So go check that all out. Again, BVLive.com, or hit us up on all of our social media pages. One last time, ladies and gentlemen, y'all give it up for the one and only Keller Cox.
You guys appreciate it.
Be on the lookout for that new record coming out in August.